at 1.7, nearly a steal by Meshack. Instead, Cryer a three, short, rebound, Tugler is there.
These guys chase down. I mean, Tugler came from outside to chase that one down.
Arceneaux looking for three. It's good.
Set up.
Lanier steps into a three. Can't find the touch, and Cryer the rebound. Lanier is 1 for 6. And as a team, Tennessee 0 of 10 from deep as Arceneaux hits his. Ziegler races up ahead with sharp back. Ziegler rejected by Wilson. Another block for the Houston defense. That's their third.
Ziegler talking with Wilson, too. I don't know what they're talking about.
Arceneaux, he's had the hot hand.
Declan Dillon, the transfer from Division II Winona State, missed both free throws. 78% free throw shooter coming in. A little pressure now by SIUE.
Extended pressure.
Then,
yep. 3-2.
And I got my eye on Francis. He's doing a good job of moving without the ball. Hasn't touched it yet.
The 1-3-1 allowed them to get slot threes. The 3-2 should take away the slot three.
Uzan shot clock at 3, gives up the pass, shot clock at 1, count the bucket.
Getting a steal.
.40 to play, second half. Score at halftime was 52-24. It's 7-6 Houston in the second half. Arceneaux bumps and gets the bounce.
I don't see Kevin
said it best, Tom. They have not turned it over a lot, but the threes, they had to knock down shots. The pressure of getting them to speed up and take shots, contested shots. 1 for 15 from the three-point line.
Yeah, Brian Baroni was honest with us. Said, listen, I'm not naive coming into this game as they feed it down low. Kicking it out, Arceneaux for 3. Yes, it's good. Cutting to the basket. Instead, goes to the left wing. 3 no good. Cannis can't come down with the rebound. Tugler was just too big.
Once the ball touches his hand,
yeah. Arceneaux, they set the screen for him. Arceneaux off the glass, it's good.
That's how
Sampson pretty much threw in the towel. Roberts didn't play. They had multiple injuries.
Wilson with Lewis on him. Tugler hands it back to Wilson. Arceneaux spinning. And that one will roll home for Terrance Arceneaux. The lead is 19 for Houston.
You know, I'm sure Kevin Young said at halftime, aside from talking about the competitiveness, let's just get it to 10 with 10 minutes to go. Get it working.
Arceneaux turns the corner and score the goal. And again, shot clock winding down. And this time, Jope not able to come up with the dunk.
That's usually a dunk unless the defender is a guy named Joseph Tugler.
It's interesting because Houston, we talk about their defense. It's not a big team. It's a long team as Arceneaux gets.
This is an airtight defense.
Inside, and that one rolls off for R.J. Smith. Arceneaux, step back, jumper is good. Terrance
He's going to take another one. He still might. James on the drive, left hand, no good. He went 0 for 2 on that trip.
Cincinnati's good with that, though. He's good because they'll offensive rebound his misses, and they trust his confidence. He will not lose confidence. He's got an Allen Iverson type mentality.
There's no doubt about that. Nice drive there to end that drought. Cuts the lead to 4.
Day Thomas is so good creating a little bit of space with his speed. You have to respect his drive to the rim, and he gets the pull-up. Milos Uzan has really become the leader of this team.
Early in the season, fans were questioning whether he was the man, and he's gotten better and better and better. And Arceneaux
can get it. They didn't let him.
And that's knocked away. Tugler underneath with a blocked shot. Loose ball. Houston's got it. They're running. Uzan took it all the way, had it knocked out of his hands. Sharp saves it right in front of us to Arceneaux.
And now Houston's just going to grind you in the half court.
Arceneaux in some traffic with a scoop shot off the window.
Terrance, I got there and realized how cool it was. I said, okay, we'll go.
Yeah,
this
you
is
started
really
to
cool.
be a spoil sport there for a second. There's some full court pressure from Cincinnati.
Bringing the pressure.
Houston worked on that yesterday, breaking the press, and they do it easily.
I think it's a good move for Cincinnati. If they can get anything without having to go against Houston's half-court defense, create a turnover or two, get it down to 6, put some game pressure on Houston.
Arceneaux got it to go. That one hung there for.
We haven't seen Josh Reed hasn't done much today. Here we go.
Roberts with an easy rebound. He's been right around 12 to 14 for most of this half.
Arceneaux, usually when Arceneaux's in, they get him in ISOs.
Pull up on the baseline. Goes for Arceneaux. Back-to-back buckets.
Deflected away. Here's Kelderman. And he turned it over. Ran into a couple of Cougars and lost the ball. Here comes Houston. Arceneaux. Up and in.
Kind of work down low. And Miller tied up. And a takeaway by Houston. It is 5-on-2 right now with Arizona State not getting back in the play.
That's absolutely inexcusable.
And they're one of the top 10 3-point shooting teams in the country. Turnover by Arizona. Pryor looking to push. He's been quiet so far. Pryor 0 for 2. Arceneaux banks it in. Maybe that will. You talk about unscripted points. There may not be anybody better at that than him. Mercurial. When the play breaks down, he's at his best. Arceneaux inside gets 2 off the window.
Right, tosses back. Edgecombe at the basket.
He's got to shoot that. Can't get hung up in the air that way.
Pryor hesitates. The give off. Arceneaux puts it home.
These guys have come back to schools that they played for their coaches, and they are great assistant coaches. I've watched them both grow up, and it's really fun. And there's a nice cut right there.
Back cut. Sharp hoisted up, can't hit. Tugler the rebound.
The easiest rebound Joe Tugler will ever have at Houston. He didn't even have to jump.
Pryor hesitates, kick out. Arceneaux wide open. Pryor probing. Dribbles out and gets it to Arceneaux. Shot clock's at 7. Uzan got to do something here. Inside, that's something. A two-handed stuff.
O.J. Pryor hardly ever takes a bad shot. Terrance Arceneaux grabs the long rebound.
Yeah, talking to Coach Boyle, that's one thing he's concerned of. Turnovers and rebounding is an absolute must if they want to stay in this game with Houston.
Emmanuel Sharp missing today's game for the Cougars. Javier Francis is back. You'll see him later. You see Arceneaux score.
With an easy little right shoulder turn, left-hand jump hook down there to Robertson. Come on back the other way, and Hammonds knocks in a big triple. That's what they need. They need some more triples to fall here in the second half. Take care of that basketball and rebound their defensive glass better.
6 points for Hammond. Pryor. Shot clock at 4. Arceneaux going to hoist nothing but the bottom. 3 on the shot clock. Good look for Pryor. Too strong, gets his own offensive rebound.
Jack did everything right on the closeout, but he didn't box out. Let Crowley go right back to the ball and get his own miss.
Terrance Arceneaux puts it on his hip, off the window, and through the hoop. Not being able to make all the moves they need to in game. Today they've done it.
Yeah, and it's a culture that he's establishing here. You know, the work ethic, the character of his players. There's no quit in this bunch. They haven't quit on the coach, and they haven't quit on themselves. That's why they're right in this fight.
O.J. Pryor goes to Arceneaux. Remember, Emmanuel Sharp out of the game, opening the door. Shot clock will be at 20. Pryor set to inbound for his team, up by 2. Houston at the top of the standings in the Big 12. Colorado at the bottom. Doesn't seem to matter this afternoon. Arceneaux bodies Mikalowski.
Jennings. Newman steps back. Jacks a 3. In and out. Houston wants to push tempo. Arceneaux being hounded by Brantley. And one.
Home allows them to gain confidence as a game. I don't mean to simplify it that much, but to me, in terms of you're relating it to Oklahoma State, that's what's happened. They got a couple shots to go down early, and now they're playing with confidence.
Arceneaux, big steps, and he finger rolls it in.
High bounce pass to a guard that's not very big.
Tugler posing with it. Arceneaux lines up a 3. It's in.
Or through that right shoulder. Pretty tough to stop.
16 Houston offensive rebounds. Oklahoma State has just 1. Arceneaux. 1-on-1 against Keller. 7 to shoot. Fall away from the foul line.
His size, but if he's able to knock it down, that provides a huge boost for the Texas Tech offense.
There's the tap and the track down, and that is exactly what Houston tracks in their practices. Terrance Arceneaux for 3. Up in Houston, and that's Jeff Linder, the associate head coach, who has taken over in Grant McCaslin's absence, and all he's done is watch the Red Raiders mount a 7-point lead tonight.
Well, Rich, they look fired up. That's a tough shot right there by Terrance Arceneaux. So
Anderson can't kiss it off the glass, and Francis, with those 4 fouls, grabs the rebound.
As you're Houston, you have to play through L.J. Cryer right now. He's the one rolling. You have to play through him.
Wilson. No look! Just signaled to Juwan Roberts. He pounded his heart. He said, play with heart now.
He's the heart and soul of this team. He means so much. He's been in so many big games.
Roberts to Arceneaux. Another circus, too.
4 rebounds for Joseph Tugler, the sophomore.
I really think Javon Small's got to be a little bit more selfish. Just try to create and see if he can at least get to the free throw line.
Some sort of spark here as Arceneaux gets a friendly roll. Andre double pumps, and this time it's Eduardo Andre with the bucket.
A couple of good sets, Eric, in a row. 3, actually. Andre passed up the easy one and then 2 layups.
Right.
So a little bit more comfortable.
Oh, now West Virginia just sleeping on defense. Cryer staying patient. Roberts, the offensive rebound. 13th offensive rebound in the game for Houston.
Well, there's not a shot that goes up on the offensive end for Houston that Juwan Roberts doesn't think he can go get for a second chance opportunity.
He's got 6 boards in this game to go along with 5 points. Here's Arceneaux, baseline drive. And
Kansas with the lead just underway here from Lawrence.
Kansas picking up a little full court, John, just to burn some shot clock.
Jack Moore on L.J. Cryer, the Baylor transfer. And the crowd loving the defense. Bidunga pops out. Cryer hesitates. They swing the ball. Arceneaux got it.
Oh boy. Nobody's helping, nobody's showing. They're just leaving that guy on an island, and that is not a formula for success. U of H has made 4 out of their last 4 field goals. Pull up from Terrance Arceneaux. Make that 5 out of 5.
Uzan to inbound. He finds L.J. Cryer. 8 points for Cryer, 2 of 2 from deep. Terrance Arceneaux, patient to finish.
He's in tonight.
seated 2 seats over from Juwan Roberts.
Xavier Francis in the game. Was good in the first half, had 6 points.
John Houston, longtime team doctor, assessing Juwan Roberts.
Golly, that is beautiful.
Use in for Arceneaux.
ISO.
Fade away, Terrance Arceneaux.
Nice call.
Tugler got a piece of it. What has Houston done defensively to really limit West Virginia? They've gone cold.
They've been running the double team at Javon Small earlier, not waiting for him to come off a screen, but trying to take the ball out of his hands.
Arceneaux lines up for 3, and he dropped. 20 points per game. Tops in the Big 12. Hansberry, that's an air bank, way off the mark. He was hot prior to that one.
Well, Xavier Francis had the defense pinned deep under the rim and did not get the ball.
Arceneaux turned away, 6 to shoot, fires a 3, buries it.
Weaving from the foul line, kicks off, offensive rebound, Tugler. Quick pass, Cryer. Austin got a hand on it, right back to LJ. Wide open 3, Arceneaux. Jones flipped, Gassan cannot get it to fall. In every bit of that rim and came out.
And just to hear footsteps against Houston.
It's almost like the Houston defense scares the ball out of the cylinder.
Right.
Use in. Arceneaux trying to get past Max Jones, is able to get it to the rim and kiss it in.
There's a ton of pressure on him to score. And we mentioned early in the game, he's only got 1 20-point game for Kansas State. And he had to have a huge game in this one for them to have an opportunity to win.
And that 20-point game came in the Big 12 opener here on December 30th against Cincinnati. He had a double-double, 20 points, 10 rebounds. Left side 3 goes in for Terrance Arceneaux.
Street fight every single possession.
It's now 14 turnovers for TCU. Their season high in the turnover department is 18. And that one's stolen away. Sharp gets it back. Arceneaux. The hook.
Terrance Arceneaux lines up the 3. Can't connect. Another offensive rebound. Houston has been dominant on the glass in this first half.
Again, BYU came into this game the #1 rebounding team in the Big 12.
Another chance for Arceneaux. This time he drills it for 3. Timeout BYU. Nothing has come easy for BYU offensively today. And they turn it over again. Here comes Houston. Arceneaux. And that's a goaltend.
On the rim and let your teammates go get it.
Arceneaux has to heave it as the shot clock sounds, and he drills it.
What a great compliment. Kevin Young said he may be the most underrated, underappreciated player on his roster, and said, dude is a baller. Oh, man, I'd love for a coach to have said that about me.
You're saying they didn't, as Arceneaux
is built on toughness, defense, and rebounding. And that translates no matter what number and who's wearing the jerseys. And it is a culture that is unique in the country, and the success is just unimaginable here in Houston.
And what's most unique about it is the player retention.
Yes.
In the age of the transfer portal, Kelvin Sampson's only lost 2 players in the last 10 years through the transfer portal. Arceneaux steps back. And
the kids show up on campus for summer school.
Gary Clark has 4 points, all from the free throw line.
0 for 2 from the floor, so no field goals yet for Clark, who has 18 straight double-scoring games. Hard hedge. Pryor gives it up. So quickly whip it to the corner. Arceneaux off the bounce. Terrance Arceneaux. Rouge. Tobor floater goes.
Yeah, Tobor. New Mexico Junior.
Right. Yeah, I know a guy from New Mexico Junior College. I'm sitting right next to him. 10 points, 5 assists in the first half. Misses his first look at the second half. Tap out. Offensive rebound. Second chance. Arceneaux buries the triple. First scoring games. 10 points for Gary Clark.
But remember, my target score for him for A&M Corpus Christi to have a chance is 20.
Smooth shot from Wilson. Pryor attacks this time, dumps it on. Arceneaux lost it on the way up, sticks with it, gets the bucket.
Hubbard, a junior who has been a really nice addition from a transfer from Western Michigan. Arceneaux with a shot clock at 17. Uzan. Good defense here by Toledo. Orleana contested three for Arceneaux over Lorenzo. Had 10 against Youngstown State. Described by Coach Kowalczyk as a defensive end body with a basketball mind. 6.5 remaining in the first half of play.
Kind of like you, Matt Thomas. I can see that description.
I have a punter's body is what I have. Twisting and turning. Arceneaux, a tough contested two over on Arceneaux in the middle of the lane. Another tap out. Pryor for three. 3 looks. The 4th look is in. Pressure. Weaving here is Toledo. Steal. Arceneaux. 2-on-1. He'll take it himself with a right hand flush. Behind the back pass. Pryor still looking for a 3-ball. No. The dunk is there. The follow in by Terrance Arceneaux. As there's an errant pass that results in a turnover, but Tugler gets it right back. Coming our way. Finds a man underneath. It's going to be Arceneaux for the flush. Here's Wilson right side. In front of Arceneaux for a 3-ball. No. Rebound to Mercy Miller. Here comes Malik Wilson. Cross court Uzan. Baseline left. Arceneaux won't take the shot. Looks to drain clock. Under 8 minutes remaining in regulation. Post up. Fade away.
That's nice. That's nice.
Turns. Spins back. Again, the shot clock under a second. That one goes off in time. That's off the back iron. And the tip rebound from Arceneaux. Into the hands of Houston and Malik Wilson. Back to Arceneaux. He wants to push. He wants to get by those Troy defenders. Can he do so? To the window he goes. That's going to be an and one. And finally,
he is still switching up his defenses. He never lets you get comfortable. That's really hard to play against. And, you know, I asked Kelvin Sampson, I said, Kelvin, you running zone offense or man offense? He said, neither. We're just going to play basketball tonight. And they have.
Pryor gets a Tugler screen. Mid-range on the baseline. Around the rim and down. That's a 2-pointer for Terrance Arceneaux. 3:45 remaining.
Yeah, when your leading scorer goes scoreless in a game like this, you're going to be in trouble in the first half.
Malik Wilson getting some valuable playing time in the second half. Out to Arceneaux. Look at Troy zoning up here still with 3:28 remaining. Arceneaux on the give and go. Reverse layup. A win.
Spotting up in the corner. And a 3 off from Pierre Brooks. And the rebound grab by Juwan Roberts for the Cougars. Covering Terrance Arceneaux for Houston. And Arceneaux, the pull-up jumper. Just outside the top 10. Hanging. And the roll. Terrance Arceneaux.
Actually struggled in scoring the basketball, but that has not been the case this afternoon.
Look out. Pass, take off. Terrance Arceneaux.
Situation, and you have to understand, he has logo range. You know, I mean, more and more in college basketball, we see it at the NBA all the time. Guys like Steph Curry.
Like in for Brooks, former Michigan Mr. Basketball, the transfer from Michigan State. Started all 42 games since transferring over from Michigan State to Butler. Terrance Arceneaux.
You see the
5 turnovers for Houston, just 2 made field goals. Compton misses inside on the putback, and here come the Cougars. Tugler had a putback. Pryor hit a 3-pointer. Those are the only 2 made baskets for Houston. Arceneaux was great off the bench on Wednesday, and Arceneaux able to lay fouls in our previous game.
How many?
55, double nickel. Wow. We've had 1 foul thus far in this one.
But it all balances out at the end of the day.
As long as if you play multiple games. Refs are letting them play here, which is good. That little floater, nicely done. Says the guy who's got a flight later tonight. And Wilson with the steal. Notre Dame turns it over. Houston, they are a beast defensively. Active hands. They all move well. They create havoc on the defensive end of the ball.
They really do. Well, also, Notre Dame's done a good job here the last few possessions defensively, playing strong, solid defense without fouling.
There's Arceneaux. He rises up and he hits a mid-range jumper. 3 for 13 from beyond the arc in last night's game, and he made 2 early. Really struggled after that. Good to see him get off to a good start tonight. Houston's lead is 5. And another one from Arceneaux. Shrewsbury on the drive. Shrewsbury missed it. And the rebound secured by Tugler. Arceneaux at the controls here. And once again, another.
He's just been up and down. You know, he has good games, and then he'll bounce back with a 6-point effort like he had against Elon. But this kid has a lot of talent and is the X factor for the Fighting Irish.
Arceneaux hits a 3.
They haven't been able to feast on the glass there, and give this Notre Dame team credit. They're a tough-minded team. They feel like they belong, and like Houston, they're disappointed that they did not win last night, trying to get that bad taste out of their mouth.
Yeah, they really fought without their best scorer, Marcus Burton, last night against Rutgers. Houston 3-2. No shame in their 2 losses, though. Auburn and Alabama are their 2 losses. Here's the hot hand. Arceneaux. He takes on Davis. Okay, Terrance Arceneaux.
And he brings a high energy, motor, physicality certainly needed, and he's matching that of Houston here early.
Juwan Roberts. He's got skills down on the block. Backs his way in. Arceneaux drives it. Arceneaux stops short. Nice decision. Scoring. 6'8" freshman from Georgia. He's got a 3-point shot. He hits a big one for Alabama. Makes it 51-48. Arceneaux with the answer on the
Walker on the floor. Sunday sets the bench. He just checked in for Hofstra. And there's a steal from Arceneaux. Terrance Arceneaux, coast to coast for the finish. Talked about it this week. He said, we're a pack-the-paint team defensively. Tugler grabs the rebound. They have to get out on some of these Houston shooters.
Yeah, like a bunch of them. When you add JoJo Tugler to that mix, you want to talk about a tough team to defend.
Arceneaux with the blow-by. A steal from Arceneaux. 2-on-2 Houston. Here comes Cryer. Arceneaux with the putback and 1. Speedy Claxton, 320 win seasons. Deep 3 off the mark from Robinson.
Well, Kelvin Sampson got guys into this game so early, and right now over half of their points, 24 points have come, half of them have come off of the bench. Let me try that again. 20.
Off-season knee surgery, a distant memory now for Keyshawn Robinson.
Well, Aaron Guerin still without a point.
0 for 5 from the field, 0 for 3 from deep for the Venezuelan, averaging 18 points per game. Cryer, 4 on the shot clock. Arceneaux, nice range. Not just a single, a double.
Oh, no, the double head smack.
For emphasis. Had lots in the game. He just tapped it out to Ramon Walker Jr. The ball just finds his hands.
You know, the basketball coaches will describe that as he's got a nose for the ball. He's always around the basketball.
Arceneaux peeked at the clock. He takes a contested 3. And this time, Chancellor White hits a 3. Cordelius Jefferson in the game. He misses his first shot. Arceneaux from the corner.
Yeah, but said long.
Jefferson inbounds. He's getting a touch on every
he
single
is.
possession.
You're exactly right.
Beautiful fadeaway from... Sedlot missed the turnaround with the right hand.
Nice steal by Terrance Arceneaux.
And he hits another three.
And he gets it to go off the window. Still have time if you're Houston. You got 5 dribbles. 3 seconds to go in the half. Roberts out. Shot's good if it goes. And they count it.
For Mo Williams there before transferring back to Jackson State. Mo Williams started his head coaching career at Alabama State, then moved within the SWAC to Jackson State.
Yeah, Juan Reyna was also a teammate on that. So strange that they start with Mo at one SWAC school, change schools, come back, and here they are playing together again.
Cry running the offense. Contested three, no problem. Open three off the heel from Hoover. Arceneaux after the clear out. Pulls up and hits.
Yeah, he's a
corner three, a little rainmaker that time from Juan Reyna, the San Antonio native.
Boy, talk about knocking down a contested shot. That's that arc I was telling you about. I watched him in warm-up, and that's his normal release.
From San Antonio, went to high school at Duncanville. There's Terrance Arceneaux.
Yeah, that's a mismatch.
He loves that free throw.